always especially grateful when we don't ask you about this stuff during
Good job,
the
yes.
course of the season. So I'm kind of curious, you've been in a few of these races now, whether you win or don't win them. You're kind of just feeling toward the race and this just being a part of it changed at all? Have you come to sort of accept that this is just part of it more, or do you feel more opposed to it maybe than the first time you were involved in an MVP race?
I cannot control. I can control it, but I cannot control it. So if they're gonna put me in that conversation, and it's been 4 years now, so I think I'm kind of used to it. So I don't even pay attention anymore. So probably a good problem to have.
Nikola, I know you said you're not used to it, but this has become the norm. How, I guess, beyond the realm of possibility was even winning the first, let alone the idea of winning 3 in 4 years when you're a kid just playing basketball or making your way through before you even, and then maybe just getting to the NBA, that you'd be the best player in the league 3 of the last 4 years?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I like the last year when I didn't get it, and then we won a championship, much better. But it's I don't know what to say. It's it's a journey. It's a process. It's a trusting in your teammates, trusting in you. It's just a whole collective effort that put me in front of the bright spotlight, and I'm kind of the guy. But there is a lot of people, players, coaches, strength coaches, development coaches, medical staff behind me, family, of course, and that you guys don't see it, and I'm just one of them.
You mentioned your family. How important, how much more does it mean having them in the room with you when it gets announced and having their reactions too?
I didn't invite them. They just show up. So I'm like, who wants to drive like 45 minutes here to get it? But it's nice, It's a special moment. Probably I'm gonna remember. Was the name the whole life. So it's I like to say the legacy for after career.
Nikola, what is it about? Sorry, here you go. What is it about winning and competing and playing in the NBA you do love the most? What is it?
I think you said it, like competing at a high level, competing against the best in the league, competing against the best coaches, competing in a tougher environment. Just lose games, win games. Experience. Just being there in the big moments, in the big games.
Nikola, I know you don't like trying to think about this, but you're now one of 9 guys that have won 3 MVPs, and you're in really good company. Is there ever going to be a point where you stop and think like, oh my goodness, I'm one of 9 guys in NBA history to do this?
I just said it. When I won the first time, I was like, okay, this is cool, this is nice. When I won a second time, the list was way shorter, and now the list is kind of short. So I'm just happy to be part of those guys, those group of guys, which is not bad group of guys, right? So, like I said, I think it's a legacy for after the career, and I think I'm gonna be more maybe proud of myself after career than I'm right now.
Nikola, I know you just said you save legacy stuff for after your career, but has being a father changed how you view legacy at all?
Yes, in a good way. Basketball doesn't mean that much, and probably that helps me too. It's a job. It's a thing that I like. Of course, I like to do it, to play the game. Everything else. But yes, being father, that means that you don't play just for yourself or just the teammates. You have a background behind you. That's maybe when you older, you don't want them to look at your videos or whatever and say that you're bad. Or so hopefully I can talk a lot of trash there when my kid or my nephews grow up. So I'm gonna be a cool grandpa.
Nikola, right here. Decky once told me that he cared more about who you became as a person than a player. You know, obviously for who you became more than what you did on the court. What did he mean to you?
I mean, it's I always say to the people are not media people, let's say like that. I mean, he meant to me more now when he was not coach to me anymore. You know, he was my friend. He was our family friend. He was always in my house when he was here, and we were always going to his house when I was in Golden State. So it was just like really quality friendship with a lot of truth between telling truth between each other and being honest. You know, I think it's Decky was a guy who you always want to have as a friend, someone who's going to tell you how it is. You know, not with no lying and no trying to hide anything.
Nikola, you know, people I think now debate like who's the greatest Denver athlete ever. You know, John Elway with the Broncos or Joe Sakic with the Avs. Like, just for you.
Start with this now?
No. But like, just when for you to even be in the discussion now with this and the championship, like, is that a little cool for you? No, I don't even know if you know a ton about those guys, but
I heard about them, and it's. I don't want to start this conversation. Can you know? You know, I think, you know, being living in Denver or whatever, being a part of Denver, I think it's cool to have, even in hockey right now. I think it's just enjoying the moment because I was here when we were not that good and everybody was like talking bad to us, talking and like thinking bad to us. So just enjoy the moment, enjoy the process, enjoy the because it's gonna pass probably. You know, everything's past, so this is gonna pass too. So I think enjoy in the moment and be happy.
To Nikola, to piggyback off Mike's question about Decky a little bit, you're paying tribute to him with that shirt. I guess, is today a day to kind of just reflect on all the people who, you know, that helped you along the way, and then who has helped you, and how much did he help you?
I mean, yes. I mean, and to be honest, I'm wearing this kind of this shirt pretty much every day. You know, on especially when I'm in a training facility. You know, Decky was the guy who gave me the freedom. You know, he showed me the way how you're supposed to do things, act, train, work out. Having positive energy, having positive attitude. It's you know, he's the guy who's. I mean, you can just see how many players and people he affected, and it's you know, he had a positive effect on me. Like I said, maybe probably more now as a friend than when he was my coach. But yes, basketball-wise, he gave me the freedom and to do whatever I want to do, and he trusted me, and I can just say thank you.
Nikola, why have you embraced the sponsorships, the commercials, the shoes, like more so than you ever have before? You used to say, if they paid me, I'll do it. So is it just that, or are you actually enjoying it?
I mean, I didn't. I had two commercials, right, and I just changed the brand. Just you know, it was I mean, 36 won't show up with great respect to me, and I just said these guys wants to do and wants to basically help me, use me, however you wanna say. And then when I read about them, they're actually really popular, and they're really up scaling brand, let's say like that. And you know, maybe I can help them too in some way. So it's but the most thing about the shoes is like the quality of shoes that I really like, and they made sure that the comfort is there, and you know, they did a really good job.
Nikola, kind of similar to what Jacob was asking, but understanding how much teams mean to fans and players. So John Elway, that's why you still see people wearing 7 jerseys and 19 jerseys. Do you at least understand what you mean to Nuggets fans and folks in this town and what you saw with the parade? And even long after you're retired, you think about what you'll mean to everyone that's gotten to watch you and see your career grow and see all these accolades. Do you understand that part?
Yes, I mean, of course, this is going to be my second home, and hopefully I'm going to come one time here after I finish career, and still have friends here. I feel the respect that they show me. I'm hanging in the Washington Park, and everybody's cheering me. Like they're really respectful, and I really appreciate it. Nobody's really, I'm gonna say, aggressively bugging me. Does that make any sense? Because I'm with a kid, and like they really respect me, and I really appreciate that. And they're a really good fan base. And I'm really happy that they're on our side every time when we are down or up. They are our sixth player, and people in Denver. I think they're really chill, and they're really, like I said. I think if I'm born here or whatever, I live here, I will just enjoy the moment right now.
Nikola, there's a really good chance Nathan McKinnon could win the MVP. I'm just curious, your relationship, maybe you can speak on that, and what do you think about that happening here in this building, possibly this year?
I mean, actually, I watched the game. I watched the game when I was back in February, right? They lost last night, right? They won. Yeah, I didn't watch it because I have other things to do. But I love the sport first of all, and I love. Even being a fan, like when I'm going to the games, I'm a fan of the Avalanche, and I think it's really cool to be part of something that it's. I think they're building the same way as the Nuggets in some way, and they're trusting their players, and they're trusting Nathan, and he's playing good, and he's really fast on those skates. It's really fast, right? And I'm really. Because I don't know how to skate and how physical, how much energy is in the when they play. It's much better in live than when you watch it on TV.
Nikola, will anything be better than when you got it in Serbia when Coach came over and you guys all had like a party? And does this moment right now make you want to be home, like doing that all over again?
I mean, doesn't mean that we're not gonna do it. So, I mean, maybe just not right away, but maybe when everything's finished, why not? But no, I mean, my first one, I get it here, right? In Phoenix, yeah. Nick has a great story about that. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a feeling to go home and like, it doesn't have a, I mean, I would like it because it was a really special moment. All my friends, all my family were there, and of course I came with a horse, which is a big part of my life. But that's probably unique, once in a lifetime.
Nikola, other than this, what does this kind of week and this stretch of off days look like for you, just in terms of trying to mentally and physically reset and prepare?
Yeah, I mean, of course we had yesterday day off. Today we came here, work out a little bit, just mentally. Yesterday was mentally off. Today is mentally on. Just to be ready for tomorrow, Friday.
Hey, Nikola, if you think back to December 15, 2016, when you became the starting center and Mike Malone put you in the starting lineup and everything kind of changed since then, what do you remember about that date or game when you just think back to it?
Don't mess it up. I remember. So everybody was telling me like, okay, you're gonna start. I said, don't mess it up. Just play the same way. I mean, and I think I did. I think even when you get opportunity like that, you don't really think about it, and I think you can think about it if you start thinking about who you're playing or it's a big moment. You're just gonna put a lot of pressure on yourself. Just go and do the thing what brought you there. I think that's advice for young people.
Yeah, Nikola, you've talked before about your kind of admiration for a lot of different guys that came before you, but one of those was Tim Duncan, playing with one franchise for 19 years. Do you ever, as much as you have accomplished, before the age of 30, do you ever think about how long you want to play, or, what would determine, how long you want to play basketball? I
mean, hopefully I'm going to be ready. I mean, I think that the determination is going to be if I can perform on the high level or not. I think I'm not going to take a spot from some young guys or take put the franchise down. Like as long as I can play the high level on the highest level and help the team win, I think that's gonna be my. I'm gonna play until then.
Thank you, Nikola.
Guys, pleasure like always.